Hello and welcome. This is a collective reading for you. I'm Amanda. This is Golden Swan Intuition. My friend Cindy gave me this card deck called Love Who You Are, and that's a Luna moth. And I don't know if you knew this, but Luna moths have little moons on them. Cindy and I both have this shirt. I got it in Texas a couple years ago when I visited her. And it says living in the new world with an old soul. And she's my soul sister. And I love this book, this card deck that she got me for my birthday this year. And I just want to read you what's inside the box. It says, it's by Angi Sullins. It says, though I do not yet know all of what I shall become, today I am a woman proudly failing at who they wanted me to be. And that's my wish for you. And you can claim that wish or not. It's up to you. But in my life, I love when people love me. I love that some of them, love me for who I am. And I don't want to be who someone else wants me to be. I want to be who my soul wants me to be. And because of people along the way, angels, some of whom were meant to be there just for a little while and some a lot longer. And Cindy's definitely one of those angels. I've been learning that it's safe to be who my soul wants me to be. And that's really my wish for you, is that you know that you are surrounded by visible, tangible, touchable people, and also invisible beings who you might even feel from time to time, who are on your side, who want you to be the empowered human being you were born to be. Whether this is your first life or your millionth, doesn't matter. What's important is that you are here and you have this life right now to be whoever you choose to become by taking those steps day by day, by day, by day, every day. Thank you for being here. When I do that, I think of Umbridge in the Harry Potter's movies where she was like, ahem. So maybe there's someone like that in your life. She was very much like that with all of Hogwarts. She should not have been in charge, right? And that's our world today. Like the people in charge, a lot of them have no business leading, whether at your corporate job or the country you live in. I don't really know your specific situation, but we see that all the time, that certain people who are chosen to be leaders have no business leading people. And the way we shift that is to focus on the leadership we do want and become it. Become it. First, just with yourself. It's not about your ego. It's not about other people knowing that you're a good leader. It's about you leading your own life. You do have power to lead your own life, and it's about you claiming that power for yourself. I know that sometimes what I just said might be triggering if you feel trapped in a relationship or in a situation or in a job where you don't feel free to make your own choices. But Spirit wants to help you out of that. Spirit wants to show you the truth that does set you free, which is you don't have to be what someone else wants you to be. You get to be yourself. And you will love it. You will love you when you're fully yourself. Trust me. I haven't even read this card. Okay, there's a little mouse on a cupcake, which doesn't make it very appetizing, but it is cute. It's a cute addition, but I would not eat that cupcake personally. It says, number 43, celebrate the little things. So that's a way out, actually. That is a way of performing powerful magic is, I just repeated is, and that's the goddess Isis's name. Oh, hello, Isis. Thank you for being here with us. So one really important way to practice magic, practically. Oh yeah, I was thinking about practical magic when I started this. Do I do that tangent now or later? That's the question. Or not at all. Okay. The practical way to create magic in your life is to focus on what you do want and put your energy there. And then it builds and it grows. So this little tiny cupcake with a little mouse on it becomes a giant, I don't know, wedding cake or a cake the size of your town or none of that is, like you don't want to, that would be too sticky to have a cake the size of your town. But you know what I mean? Like you can grow something that's small into something bigger by putting your attention into it. Also, you can grow something small into something bitter. I almost said bitter, by putting too much attention into it. If you don't like it, you become bitter by focusing on it. So the way to undo that bitterness in you is to release it and say, I don't want to feel that anymore. I'm good. I don't need to feel that energy anymore. I am going to create, I am going to feel it. I'm going to fully feel it. And then I'll release it. And then I will shift my attention to the beautiful things in my life and the things I want to get bigger. Right? So my healthy relationships with friends who love me for who I am and who don't need me to censor myself. My relationships with my family members who we're all, going through life together and we're all changing and we're all going to accept each other and love each other no matter what. I'm going to put my attention there. Or the leaders around who actually are amazing, who are doing truly great things, not just by dividing us in a better way, but by actually changing the way things are run so that even the smallest, even the smallest creatures, the smallest people, the people who are undervalued are now valued as much as anybody else. That's where we want to put our attention. So for me, that leader is Taylor Swift. She inspires me so much. I watched her documentary series about the Eras Tour, and every episode has a focus within it on someone who she works closely with, who, like their life is changed by this creative work that they do in collaboration with this superstar, right? But she doesn't treat them like she's a superstar. She treats them like she's a human being, and so are they. And that's not hard. We can all do that. It's not a problem. It does require letting your ego fall away, letting the part of you that needs to be on top of others, letting that really die. That's the only way your true self can come through, because we're all mirrors of each other, right? So if we need to convince ourselves that we're better than that person over there, we're actually putting ourselves down. That's how it works. We're keeping ourselves out of alignment with our soul's path. We're not allowing ourselves to claim the blessings that are meant for us in this lifetime. They are meant for you. But it requires releasing resentment. It requires a lot of gratitude, and it requires very intentionally and with a lot of discernment, putting your focus on the right things, on the things you wish to grow. I am pulling from the Dirt Gems deck, and I don't know where the box is, but it looks like that on the back. The first one that came out is Bone Set. And I don't know if that's the same as Comfrey in a different deck I have, maybe. Number 32, and then Dogwood. Dogwood is, I think it was my grandma's favorite tree. It was one of my mom's favorite trees. It's a flowering tree. That was number 57. I'll start there. I'll start with the flowering tree because that sounds nice. Okay. It says the loyal. For those who feel hardened by their own history, dogwood is a powerful reminder of how to learn from what has come before and then become something entirely new, not determined by past scars. This elegant plant ally will help you discard feelings of threat and violation. Dogwood stops the memories from radiating their pain, interesting change of words, and lets the scars ripple and melt back into the body. I think bone set is the same. So it's like taking this, the sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Words do hurt us. They hurt our connection with our soul often. They don't have to. But when we're little and people tell us who we are and it's not that great, we change who we are to try to fit in with whatever they're saying or whatever, to try to avoid pain. And I think we'll double check, but I think both of these plants are calling us to let ourselves heal that, and then step into a new vision, a new version of this world. So bone set is the weaver and the woven. Bone set is the bone knitter, the weaver, the seam that binds edges. While there is research suggesting that bone set has historically been used as a medicine to set bones when they break, this plant was more commonly used to break down fevers, chills, and shakes. Interesting. The kind that might set bones to clacking. Bone set is the bone settler. Conjure the image of weaving a cloak of the collective Conjure an image of weaving a cloak of collective well-being, a blanket that surrounds everything and everyone that may need it, unbroken, and creating a safe cocoon. This layer of protective force acts as a passive form of harm prevention. What approaches with malevolence cannot get beyond these borders. The thing about people in power is that they don't have any power without the consent of a lot of people. So as more of us come into following our heart, following our intuition, I'm hearing calling bullshit on what is not real, what is not true. We create that beautiful safety net for each other. But it doesn't work at all unless everyone is invited, as long as, they're treating each other well. But people aren't excluded because of what they look like or who they are, where they're from, or what their religion is. Everyone's invited into that blanket, that safety net. Everyone is comforted there. Everyone is held there. And then we see, once we create that for each other, once we heal our own hurts and put our energy into what we want to create, that just ripples out. It grows. And then that's who gets to be in charge, is the type of person who protects everybody. And that is the world that is being created. It's already happening. You can be part of that world if you wish to be. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry for listening to spirit. I'm not sorry for pausing. Don't tell people sorry for pausing. You're allowed to take the time you need. That's the message. You have to pause to create the vision of what you want rather than what you don't want, right? This is really similar to my last reading, so I might link it below if I remember. Actually, the last two have felt connected as well. I am pulling from the Soul Tarot by Lindsay Mack. Has 2 spirals on the back and 2 8-pointed stars. So that's very goddess Ishtar energy. Venus. Anything else, Spirit? Okay, so we have Page of Wands, and I'm just seeing all those direction signs. No one else can tell you your direction for your life. And if you listen to the loudest voices, or if you look and you say to yourself, who's the most powerful? I want power too. And you try to be like them, you will be off course. That is not where your intuition is leading you. Your intuition speaks to you from a still, small voice. Sometimes it's inside of you. Sometimes it's in nature or in children or in very sweet people around you or in books by people who are commonly disregarded in our society, things like that. So if you're looking for I'm hearing sequestered. If you look for the sequestered voices, so I guess like the people who are forced into isolation. Hi, I'm Amanda. So if you look for the voices of people who are kind of hermiting or my stomach's growling, who are just not listened to. That's often, not always, but often where the wisdom is. And if you are that person, listen to yourself. And if you're a very powerful person listening to this message in any way, even in just like a small way in your community, and you're surrounded by yes men, that's dangerous for you. Like, it's very hard not to create problems for people or to disregard smaller people, not literally small people, but maybe them too. Okay, so this Page of Wands, there's a yes, no, pause, tend. And I'm just seeing you standing in front of this guidepost, asking yourself, which way do I go? And if there's someone over here telling you which way to go, I need you to look at them and say, I need some quiet time to make this decision, please. Yeah, the pause earlier. And then we have this Queen of Cups. She's like a sea lion or something like that. So I'm just seeing how this came through, I think in the previous reading. I have the background is this scene, basically. So I just have a rotating background of all the nature scenes from my MacBook. And just like they were already there and I turned it on. So it's flowing through all the time. But you can be like that mermaid. She's kind of reminding me of a manatee or a mermaid. Up on the rock, as all the waves are crashing on the rock, she's stable. She's secure. She's not afraid of water. She's the Queen of Cups. She's not worried about other people's emotions knocking her off that rock. She knows how to swim, first of all, but she's steady, like she's found her footing. And she did that by listening to her own emotions, to herself, and learning how to let emotions flow through her instead of trying to silence what her heart is telling her. And regardless of your gender, you can be in that Queen of Cups energy too. Mermaid, siren. Yeah. So like once you hear the call of your own heart, then you can call others to their own heart. And it might look like death to outsiders, but what looks like death to outsiders is actually the death of ego, death of being plugged into this false system that we're in. You're unplugging that and plugging into the earth's reality, which is loving and all-inclusive. It includes everybody. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Let me get some charms for you. I just want to say thank you to the muses because they have been with me. They're with all of us. Every song is Every song ever written, and this has a guitar on it. Every song ever written is inspired by the muses. And so I think it's funny because a lot of times people will ask artists, like, what inspired your song? And I'm sure they have a story behind their songs. And it's not just their story. Actually, Taylor Swift has a song called The Manuscript. It's at the end of the Tortured Poets Department. And it's basically like, well, here's the manuscript. The story isn't mine anymore. It's yours. And it really, that one in particular, when it went out to the fans, everyone was like, who's this about? Who's this about? But it's not just about her. Her songs are not just about her. They're about you. They're about love. They're about the human condition. They're about good leadership and bad leadership. They're about true love and illusions of love. And sometimes what other people think is an illusion of love is your true love. And sometimes what other people think is your true love is an illusion of love. It's not real. And only you can know. That's every kind of love, including romantic. No one can tell you who loves you, not even a psychic. Only you know. So we have this seahorse, more water energy. I've been getting a lot of horse energy around it. Is the year of the horse right now. Whenever you watch this, it's timeless, but that is the reality we're in right now. And I've been reading a book called The Way of the Horse, which is also an oracle card deck. It's so good. And it talks about how animals, including horses, are able to lead without being predatory. And then when they're attacked, they don't just live with resentment for the rest of their lives. They shake it off and go back to a peaceful existence. Human beings have almost a curse where we carry our pain with us for way too long because we're told to. It's not your fault if you do it. Spirit is really encouraging you to find healthy ways to release your pain, to release your trauma. You are not meant to carry that as your label, as your identity. Your identity is someone who is joyful and happy and loved, and who loves abundantly and who leads well in your own life and in the lives of others who you influence. There is this beautiful 5-petaled flower. I have an angel wing. You are always, every time you just smile at someone, you're kind to someone, you say uplifting things to people, you're being an angel for people. You're a messenger. You're a messenger. I'm laughing because I was talking about Cindy. I'm sorry to cut off the angel part. You're an angel anytime you're kind and loving to people. I went to the mall. My son needs to practice driving, and so we were doing that today, and he doesn't have his license yet. We drove up to the mall to buy him some socks, and then right afterwards, I turned around and there was a perfume counter behind us, and I asked her to smell the Daisy perfume, and I think it's Marc Jacobs. And I went there before and I smelled it. And I was like, that's nice. There was one next to it called Wild Daisy. And then there was another one. I don't remember the name, but it's kind of a limited edition. And the limited edition one smelled like bananas. And she said it was going to, and it did. And I don't know why you would wear a perfume that smells like bananas, but it was funny to me. And then my son and I kept walking. I didn't buy any, but they gave me some samples. And then we kept walking, and he was like, that was interesting, Mom. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I stopped. I don't know why it smelled like bananas, but here are some bananas. What I'm getting is Mario Kart, the banana peel that spins them for a loop. But also bananas are just funny. They're just funny. Maybe you need to laugh about something. I don't know. Here is a blue square. Blue square. Is that a ski level? That's the medium, I think. green dot, blue square. Yeah, I think so. I'm not a big skier, but I'm pretty sure the blue one is a square. At least here. I never know what this is, but I'll show you. Oh, it might be a rabbit. Yeah, let's call it a rabbit today with a pink face. Losing my voice. And then we have a pink starfish. So you are being asked to be soft with yourself, to let your voice be heard, to shine wherever you are, to lead. I didn't pull all these cards out. Okay, we also have the 10 of Swords and the Chariot. And there are robins here. But that robin is kicking that one out of the nest. So that's such a positive 10 of Swords. Maybe you're feeling like Spirit is kicking you out of the nest to go start your life. Sometimes when we're going through our dark night of the soul, our ego death, that is what it is. Spirit's saying, no more. You don't get to be here in this situation. This is not true to you. You've got to get out of here and start your life. And when you do, when you say yes to that, oh, it's a little baby bird coming out of the egg. It's like a restart. Yeah. And in a beginning, it's a restart. You kind of are feeling like you're on your own, but it's instinctual to you. You know exactly how to get out of the egg. You know exactly how to grow into an adult and be very mature and be your true self and lead in the world. That Chariot energy. And you know that true victory only comes when everyone wins together. There is no I win and you don't, really. Not on the spiritual level at all. That doesn't mean you have to hold everyone's hand or be their mom or dad and force them to do the right thing. You still get to live your own life. You still get to follow the steps set before you by Spirit and set appropriate boundaries when necessary. But you do not need to be who anyone else told you to be. We have this Knight of Pentacles. I live my life with purpose, and I'm seeing those gears, and inside the gear is a pentacle, a pentagram, a 5-pointed star. That is feminine energy. So you're letting your heart lead. At the top, it says conservative and efficiency. So the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest knight. Yeah, don't let anyone rush you into hatching from your egg. You know the right pace for you. But sometimes Spirit will help you along just a little. I might have not finished a whole thought back there. I will watch this back, and if I can, I'll finish the thought in the description box below. You can press more to find that. And also, if you ever want to book a reading with me, it's only through my website, goldenswanintuition.com. I'm so glad you're here. I hope you have a wonderful day.